I'm Larry Brooks. I'm principal of Practice Flow Solutions, which is a medical planning and architectural firm helping outpatient facilities. We specialize in healthcare. So when we were a firm I was with at that point, use Expeditor, and because our niche is helping practices be more efficient, and so it really dovetails nicely into what Expeditor does to help our clients. What we do is when we go and we do time motion studies and help practices be more efficient, Expeditor Life Signaling System is one of the key components. So every practice I go into, if they don't already have it, we recommend them they get it. Probably up until the last few years when EHR has really taken off, that the low tech part of what Expeditor does has been great because it's so simple. I mean, we have, and Expeditor probably hears it all the time, we have doctors saying, look, all I do is follow a blinking light. I mean, so all the process of trying to figure out how to go where and do this and call it, all you gotta do is hit a button, call somebody, or follow a blinking light. It's very easy. Now, saying that, as now we're getting more and more computers in exam rooms, now we're starting to see where the high tech maybe starts to come into play with the computer-based. What now they, instead of having panels when they're having it on computer screens. So, we've got doctors carrying iPads and tablets and all that. So that dovetails right in with the kind of moving into the more technology that they're getting in their exam rooms. Over the last few years, we've done a lot of EMR implementation consultations, where the EMR company comes in and puts it in, and then after they get it in, it's really they're not as productive as they want to be, so they call us in to help. And one of the things we find out is what the EMR companies are missing is that communication component. EMR company won't, the system, all I've seen so far, won't tell the client, won't tell the doctor where to go next. It's very hard to order things, call people to you, all the things that Expeditor does. So, we get into the EMRs just by looking at really what it doesn't do for them, because so many times we hear our clients say, well, I'm going to EMR, oh man, I hope I don't lose too many patients, I hope my production doesn't go down too far. So we're trying to help them get that production back. Out of 22 years, I've never had a client complain about Expeditor. I've never had anyone say that their system didn't do what it was supposed to do. And so that's, as a consultant, that you're going to recommend some product or somebody, you want to make sure you darn well better believe that this is going to be something they like, and it's going to work well for them, and you're not going to have anything come back on my reputation. And that's the reason why I don't have any problems whatsoever in recommending Expeditor. And then for us, of 22 years, like I said, we don't have any relationship with it at all at Expeditor, as far as they don't pay us to say anything. I don't get referral fees. I do this because I know if they buy Expeditor and they put it in, their system's going to work well. The communication's going to go, the walking part of communication is going to go down. They're going to be more productive, which ties into our overall concept. So, yeah, I know if I can design a great building for these guys, and if their communication systems are poor, my great design doesn't work as well. So, it's kind of a team. When we go in and we see an existing practice that either wants to be more efficient where they're at, or wants outgrown it, looking to build a new facility. So we come in and we assess what they're doing now, help them identify the bottlenecks and constraints to their production, and then what we do in our assessment, we write them and say, look, here's the problems you have now. Here's why they're calling, why they're happening. Here's how we ought to solve them. And this is all before design starts of a new facility or anything like that. Because part of it is we want them to be able to understand how everything's going to function in this new facility, let's say, or in their revised facility, before you start drawing those things. So everything is, you can have 2 4-doctor ophthalmology groups that are both general ophthalmologists, and they completely practice differently. So everything is custom to exactly what the client needs, and that's, obviously there's other systems and other ways to communicate out there, whether it's lights or flags or magnets on a door, however you want to do it. And that's one thing that keeps drawing us back to recommend Expeditors, because it is custom. It is what the client needs. And so in our case, a lot of times we'll communicate with the representative at Expediter saying, here's what we've seen, here's what we're helping this client do, here's their problems, and then the three get together and we pass them off to Expeditor to be able to then help them figure out to implement even more of the changes that we're bringing up. Now, I've had an orthopedist years ago, I heard say that his system was worth probably somewhere around 1.5 staff members to him, and it never got sick, never went on vacation, was always there, always worked, you know. So, and I've used that line for probably the last 15 years because that's, you know, that's as overhead keeps going up with our practices and revenue is not keeping pace, you know, to be able to have, you know, a light on the wall that's worth 1.5 staff members is pretty huge. Efficiency turns into production because in our business, and like I said, the doctor is the constraint to production in a medical practice. You know, you're trying to maximize that doctor's time. So if you're able to allow them to be more efficient, not walk to go take people out, escort them out, or not walk to go get something, have lights to be able to hit a button, a nurse call type Expeditor system to be able to bring that staff member to them, or be able to, when you come out of the room, and this is another big thing that we see a lot with our practices, with the doctors, is and when they don't have a system like this, you'll see practices where the doctor will come out of the room, and let's say they have 3 rooms or 4 rooms. As long as they get 3, if they have 3 rooms, so they come out of the room, they got at least 2 options to go to. And you'll see them come down, and if they're in the old paper world, you know, they'd start looking at charts, trying to figure out where they need to go next. You know, that's all lost production time, because in our business, we say, okay, if I can save you, let's take the typical ophthalmologist, if I can save them 2 or 3 minutes in a patient visit, I'm adding several patients a day, times in that collection of, say, maybe $150 per patient. Now we're talking serious money, and you know, getting them to where they need to go and eliminating that wasted or downtime is the biggest part of that. And the key is, I mean, is the Expeditor system allows me to get my doctors that time back to see more patients.